5'5" to 6'10", and from a guy who also grew up in Louisiana, but might have thought about playing in the NBA, but I don't think it really occurred to him in high school, and might not have occurred to him for quite a while in college, but 13 years in the NBA proves that he had the talent, he had the work ethic, and most of all, he had the faith and fortitude to make a dream for many kids come true in his life. And he's come to us with his family today from the Denver area, from Jonesville originally, Louisiana originally, and a product of the University of New Orleans, Erwin Johnson.
First of all, I'd like to just thank everyone for voting for me to be a part of the 2013 Louisiana Hall of Fame inductees, so I'm very grateful for that. First question, anyone?
Talk about how you became a college basketball player, let alone a pro basketball player, when you barely played high school basketball.
Well, the story goes like this. I told the story probably maybe 10,000 times or more, but graduated from Block High School in 1985, and I just wanted to work right after high school, so I took a job and worked for 3 years and working in the grocery store. And so happens a good friend of mine that I got to know in the grocery store, Paul Bellonian. He's was visiting New Orleans at that time. I think Ron Maestri, our friend of Ron Maestri, and he came in the store and just said, "Erwin, you don't know, the tallest guy they have was 6'4", and they need players." So I was, went down there the next day or so and asked Coach Floyd for opportunity, and he gave me the opportunity, and went on and had a great career at the University of New Orleans.
Did you have any idea that you were that good?
Not at all. I was terrible. I was not good. I played basketball out in the playground and in the park, but never organized basketball. I had a coach at Block High School, wanted me to come out and try out, but I refused to. My parents wanted me to go try out. It was just something that I didn't have that desire to play at that time. But when I made up in my mind that I wanted to do it, I did it, and good things happened after that.
So you got to UNO and found out you belonged. When was it that you got the idea that maybe I might be able to take this past college?
The NBA was never one of my main goals. When I stepped on the University of New Orleans campus, it was all about me trying to be the best player possible. And I had a great coach, Tim Floyd. I owe so much credit to him for making me the player that I became. He means a lot to me. And at the university, it was me just trying to be the best I could be. It was a lot of players better than me. I knew they was better than me, but I didn't think they could outwork me. Work ethics was everything to me, so I just worked as hard as possible and took one day at a time. I didn't look down the road, say the NBA or the $1 million that I possibly could make. It was all about me just taking one day at a time and trying to be the best player that I can possibly be. And believe it or not, Tim Floyd didn't think I was so good either. After the first month or so, he thought I should be, I should go to a junior college and where I can play and develop. But I remember that conversation to this day that I sit right across from him, just like I'm sitting across from him, and told him I wasn't going to do it. He wanted me to ask my parents. I said, I'm not going there and ask my parents about transferring. I'm not doing it. And I remember the tears in my eyes coming down, and Tim said, Erwin, I'm not going to say anything else to you about it. Just get in the gym and work. And from that day on, I just worked. And I didn't say much. I just continue to try I continue to try to work harder every day and try to improve. And I was able to improve year by year.
How many times did you just reflect and say, dang, I was in a supermarket at one time and then I went to the NBA? I mean, it's an amazing story, Erwin. Just do you sometimes just sit back and maybe now think about it?
I do reflect on it a lot.
Yeah.
And I try to share with my two daughters, which they probably don't understand, that how hard it was. And working in a grocery store, making $3.35 an hour, content, happy, you know. A lot of people don't believe that, but I was happy, I was content, I was just working, taking care of myself, living in an apartment. You know, my parents were nowhere around, so I had to support myself, and responsibility fell on me. But I was just, it was a hard struggle, but I just wanted more, and I just took one day at a time with it. And now, looking back more and more, I look at it, it's amazing. It is amazing. But the only thing I can say that God ordered my steps. I have to say He ordered my steps because I had no idea growing up in Jonesville, Louisiana, a young skinny kid, you know, very shy, you know, and coming from the background I come from with my mother raising 5 kids. I was the oldest son. All the responsibility fell on myself, and had no idea that one day that I was going to be playing the NBA. I had no idea. I still can't believe it, but it happened. That's go to show you if you really have a desire to do something, and if you work at it and you stay focused and you keep God number one, good things can happen. But it wasn't easy either. But I'm just so glad I had my faith in other places, not in myself, because if I had faith in myself, I would have never made it. You know, even though I believed in myself, but I knew something was different about this, because everything fell in place from the time I said that I was going to go play basketball to Tim Floyd giving me a scholarship. Even though I didn't play high school basketball before, I was 6'11". Only thing I could do is run and jump. You know, it was the last day of signing college players. You know, Tim thought it was Magic Johnson from LA. All of that story, all of that, you know, to giving me an opportunity and say yes, you know, that's amazing. And I can't credit nobody else but the man above for placing me in the right place, putting the right people in place for me to meet and talk to and to encourage me. So it's a blessing in the sky that it happened the way it happened.
Erwin, with everything that's happened to you and how you got to this point, what does this weekend enshrinement in this Hall of Fame mean to you?
It means a lot, but I can honestly say it was never one of my goals because I never thought I would ever make it this far as playing basketball. I didn't know how my college career was going to turn out. I didn't even know how my NBA career was going to turn out. But I think by me having so much faith and I trusted God so much in everything I did that, you know, maybe He saw the humbleness in me. Maybe He saw something to say this kid, you know, deserve a lot. I'm going to give him opportunity. And I never let my eyes go off of him, no matter how good things was going or how bad. So this weekend is a great honor for me and my family. I know my daughters is very excited about me. They've been asking to help write up my speech and all of that, you know. So, you know, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I'm very humble about it, and I'm gonna try to just soak up everything throughout the weekend and enjoy this moment because you never know when the next time something like this could happen. I don't think I will ever make it to the real Hall of Fame of NBA Hall of Fame. So this is my Hall of Fame. This is my stage, and I'm gonna enjoy every moment of it this weekend.
How tall were you when you were a freshman in high school?
Freshman, I don't remember, but I can tell you I was 6'7" when I graduated from high school in 1985.
And your high school coach didn't ask
He
you?
wanted me to play basketball, but my frame of mind and what I wanted didn't coincide with his. He saw something in me and wanted me to, you know, to try out, but I just didn't want to do it. I try to let all the kids know that your parents could want something so bad for you, but if you don't want it for yourself, it's not going to happen. You'll never be able to reach your full potential. If somebody is constantly driving you and pushing you to do something, to drive and have to come from within. When I decided to do it, it was all me. It wasn't anything to do with my parents or family members. It was all me wanting to do it.
I was going to ask you what was your biggest memory in a game at UNO, but then I got to thinking, you never played high school ball. What was it like the first time you stepped on the court for a college ball game?
Nervous as you know what. I didn't know what to think. I didn't have no idea what was going on. But Tim Floyd was, he knew exactly what to say to me. You know, he knew how to get up under my skin. He knew everything. He said, Erwin, just go play this. Whatever you do, the only thing I want you to do is rebound and block shots. And if you get it up underneath the basket, kick it out. He didn't want me to do anything else. And I ain't know any better. And I just did exactly what he told me to do. And everything worked out perfect, But I was nervous. I was nervous my first game, but that's normal. I had no expectation of trying to get so many points or so many rebounds. I was just enjoying the moment of just playing. And that's what, to me, what it was all about, just getting out there playing and doing your best.
You talked about, not playing in high school, the coach, what he had in mind wasn't what you wanted, and then you were approached 3 years later about it. What changed for you that made you want to do it? I mean, obviously, like you said, it was your choice. Was it something internal? Was it something combination of things? I mean, was it an intuition thing? What made you at that point say, okay, I'm going to give this a shot?
The only thing I remember is when I was working in that grocery store, I was stocking the shelves. And I went through this in my mind thousands and thousands of times. And I just heard this little still voice, Sir Erwin, go back and play basketball. And I looked around when nobody was around. And I knew it was from God. And the only thing I said was, God, if this is for you, allow it to happen. That's when Paul Bologna walked through the door a few hours later.
Wow.
And was telling me about UNO. And I didn't know what to do after that. I said, I just drive down there after I get off of work. And I didn't even know where University of New Orleans campus was at.
Where was the, what was the store's name?
A&P on College Drive. Yes, actually A&P on College Drive.
It's where all the recruiters go to find business.
Absolutely. I heard that so many times, but I think it's within those 3 years, they changed to Super Fresh. But it was A&P grocery store. But, by me, when I heard that voice and Paul Bologna coming in there and, telling me about UNO needing players, and me talking to Tim Floyd, I knew it was a divine appointment. If it was up to me, I wanted to go to LSU. And honestly, I did. But I went and talked to Dale Brown before I went to UNO. He had these two big guys coming, Shaquille O'Neal and Stanley Roberts, and this skinny little kid here, he said, you know what, I don't have a place for you, I don't have a scholarship, I wish you the best. And I said, I appreciate it. And I think that motivated me even also. That didn't have anything negative towards Dale Brown, it was just a motivation thing. God knew exactly what I needed to push me, to drive me to be the best player possible. So, I'm so glad I was in the right place at the right time, and the right people was in my life at the right time.
And here you are with Shaq on Saturday night.
Yes, it's amazing, and I'm happy. I'm gonna be very grateful to see him again. I haven't seen him since I retired from the NBA 7 years ago. We battled quite a bit on the NBA court. He won 99.9% of them. But it was fun playing against him because one thing about Shaq, he got a great spirit about him. He loved people, and he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. You hear all these stories about NBA players. He's a genuine guy that I really like and admire a lot.
What game in the NBA that stands out the most in your mind for you?
It's so many different ones for different reasons. Maybe when I shot made a three against Minnesota. Normally I don't shoot threes, but that night, for whatever reason in Seattle, I remember I scored 20-some points and how many rebounds, and I shot a three kind of when the game was almost over, and I made it. It was just my night. I don't think I shot too many more or made too many more after that. But the NBA career for me was great. A lot of NBA scouts and people, executives, didn't think I was going to be playing no more than about 3 years in the NBA anyway. So I surpassed all of that far as my career. But I have a lot of great moments in the NBA, a lot of bad ones too. I can't just take all the good, a lot of bad ones. But I was so motivated to be the best player possible. When someone always said anything I couldn't do, that make me even focus even harder to do it, to prove them wrong. You're gonna always have people to doubt you and say you can't do this or can't do that or whatever. But I just trust so much in myself and believe in God giving me the strength and ability to go out there and do it. It's great for me, and I love proving people wrong.
Erwin, obviously with the NBA draft, it's only 60, 65 guys that get drafted a year, and the odds of getting drafted are so low. Describe that day, the roller coaster of emotions. I mean, a lot of times we watch guys on TV on draft day expecting the name to be called, and they sit there and cross their fingers. When your name was finally called with the track that you had to go through to get there, describe how you felt.
That emotions, I couldn't do nothing but cry. Honestly, because what I went through, you bring a lot of emotions back. That feeling, but it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. It was just a feeling of just working hard. The feeling of I made it. I wanted to make my mother, my father, and my family members proud. It was tough, but being the 23rd pick and just sitting there waiting, I didn't want to go to the NBA. I didn't want to be no part of that, in the green room and waiting and your name not called, and there you go sitting and the cameras all in your face and everybody watching. And I remember I had an apartment right off of UNO campus. I just had my immediate family and good friends of mine and my agent, and I was sitting there. I never heard anything about Seattle. I didn't even know where Seattle was at. Never really been out of the state of Louisiana other than, traveling with UNO. And just sitting there for about an hour or so, and when my name called, it was this disbelief, shocking, excited, going a new chapter in my life, but it was a great experience, and I would never forget it, but I'm very grateful for it, and still don't believe that it happened, But they don't happen too often, but I try to tell kids, it's nothing wrong with having a dream. You got to have a dream. And if you have a dream, and if it's something that you desire to be or do in life, you can achieve whatever you want. Just work hard at it. But you got to have a plan B as well, because you can't put all your eggs in one basket. There's nothing wrong with dreaming. When I see a lot of kids, say, I want to go to the NBA and that's their NFL, I don't try to discourage them. I try to encourage them to say, you know what, you can be whatever you want. It's not going to be easy. You're going to go through your ups and downs, but you just got to stay focused, and be ready for adversity in life or whatever it throws at you, and go from there. So I try to encourage the kids to just keep the dream alive, and whatever you want, you can be.
Speaking of kids, tell us what you're doing today.
What am I doing today? I'm trying to enjoy my two daughters and watch them grow up. Playing in the NBA, I travel a lot. And I owe a lot of credit to my wife, for, putting up with me for all those years in the NBA, that traveling and leaving all the responsibility on her to get the kids here and all of that stuff. NBA lifestyle is great, but it's a lot comes with it. But a lot of people don't see that, but I missed a lot of my kids' performance and different things like that. And now I just want to enjoy them, I'm one of the Denver Nuggets ambassadors that goes in the community and talk to different schools, go to different schools and talk to different kids, and I do a lot of events with their organization, with their players. Plus I have my own basketball club, EJ Hoops Basketball Club, which I have 72 girls in the program, teaching them about basketball. Being a boy, a young man like I am, and dealing with girls, two different things. It's tough. I have 72 girls, but it's fun to be around the girls and try to teach them about the game of basketball. I knew, when I retired, I wanted to be around kids. I knew that because I saw myself in many different ways. God has shown me so many times that I was going to be standing in front of kids, talking to kids, and try to point them in the right direction. I just didn't know how it was going to transpire. And by me going to different schools, I go to probably 100 different schools in one school year, get in front of 10, 15,000 kids, you know, talking to them about life, trying to encourage them about education and how important it to further education and doing the right thing and making good decisions. So I enjoy that because I have had opportunities to coach high school and college, and I turned it down because I don't feel like that's what I need to be doing. I need to be in front of kids.
Erwin Johnson, everybody.
Thank you.